when we think of what dictates women behavior and you think of society, culture, well, let's talk about what we're dealing with these days. The modern woman here. What factors we have to deal with. Okay, take this war bride's idea that women are going to be able to detach emotions. This is why we talk about monkey branch and hypergamy, all that. They're able to detach their emotions more readily, more easily than men are. And we understand why kind of now with evolution. It makes sense, right? It makes sense in the past. Now you add in hypergamy, which is women always looking for the guy that can provide the most, the highest status man that could provide for her and her future offspring. Add in third wave feminism, which means that this is why I say the modern woman. My mother is not like this. My mother thinks feminism is silly. I have a great mother. A lot of my relatives in my life, a lot of my aunts, we have a very close family group. I got very lucky. They're very much more of the traditional women. But the modern women these days, and family is really important to a lot of people in our family. So the modern women, though, they've grown up. This is the third wave of feminism, where female empowerment, all this stuff, to where they believe these crazy things that are just poison their mindset, and you know, as a ripple effect, it really screws with relationships. Okay, here's some other things. Add in birth control and other medications. And I've talked to you guys, I've said this before, man. I'm a believer in God. I'm a man of God. I believe that things, you know, there's a higher power. I believe that things happen for a reason. So the more that you mess with nature, what's natural, there's going to be consequences. And we have not studied all of this stuff nearly enough to have women taking birth control, Prozac, all these other medications, right, that are going to mess with the natural hormones, okay? Add in sleeping with multiple men, because, again, that is pushed now. It's like the new norm, guys. If you go on Female Dating Strategies Reddit and you just see the mindset, it's pretty gross, because feminists are saying, do not settle for one guy. Test it all out. Eat all of the buffet. Sleep around with as many men as you can now, and then settle down with one later. Well, there's been studies on this too about women taking in DNA from multiple men, man. That can affect the brain. Again, these are things that we just, people buy into without proper research. And you can see how all of these factors, this is the state we are left with modern women. And man, guys, I have experienced basically everything I can think of with women, right? I've experienced so many different things over the years, all of that stuff. And when I say it, man, these days, some women I run into these days, and I believe it's a factor of all of these things, I go, holy cow. Some women, it's like, this is insanity. This is literally crazy, right? I'm not one of those guys that goes, oh yeah, all women are crazy. It's like, I've experienced so much, and these days, I think with all these factors, all these medications, all these different sleeping around, all that stuff, all of this can affect so much that, again, this is what we're left with these days, which is why committing to a marriage can be very risky. Yeah, oh yeah, here's another one. Oh yeah, male harems ran through into their early 20s. So yeah, and you see this in nature too. Like, think of like silverback gorillas, where you'll have like and think of like hypergamy in this sense, right? A silverback gorilla is going to be the most alpha gorilla that can protect the tribe. He has a harem of female gorillas. And what's going to happen is, if another male wants this harem of women, it's going to challenge the silverback gorilla. And if that new challenger defeats this, you know, alpha silverback gorilla, that new challenger now inherits this harem of female gorillas. You know, like that. Just think about that almost in nature. It's like, that's kind of the same idea, although we're raised in such a way that just makes us not think about these things. A lot of us, I'm gonna actually pull up a meme here I saw from Female Dating Strategies that will show you kind of how women are thinking. Let's see. Is it this one? Okay, look at this. This is just, I mean, there's so many of these I could have pulled up, but Never apologize for the space you occupy in this world. Shout out to all my girls who are bigger than, taller than, or way more than their boyfriends and feel subconscious about it, because our society puts so much emphasis on girls needing to be less than boys in every single way, especially physically. Never apologize for the space you occupy in this world. And you got this girl. This is so important. If you read the comments on this, it's like, are you kidding me? But again, this is women being brainwashed into hearing about the patriarchy and all this stuff, right? That is why things won't change until our culture changes, until our society changes. Take a small example here on norms, right? If you went back, I don't know, 30 years ago, 50 years ago especially, and a woman was divorced, right? The stereotype would be, whoa, you got divorced. Like, what did you do wrong to make your husband leave you? That was the stereotype, and people will go, that's patriarchal, that's such a crappy mindset. But when now women are celebrated for being a divorcee, right? Women are celebrated for being single mothers. Our culture has shifted so much that part of that social norms that now you're like, that is praised, makes hypergamy and these other things run rampant. Now you got social media, you got online dating apps and all that stuff, and you have women with all these choices, and they're pressured to date around, sleep around, taste it all. You can just see why we are in such a problem these days. What needs to change, and again, MGTOW is a huge thing, red pill is a huge thing that more men are waking up to, and men are making moves with our feet. We're walking away, and that's going to be the stuff that's going to help shift the cultural norms. Because when women now know that she can get divorced, she can be a single mother or 2 or 3, and she can go on online dating apps and find beta men to, come rescue her, and there's no shame, and instead she's celebrated for her choice, and no fault divorce and all that stuff, that spreads this craziness in society. So until all of that, until guys on online dating apps are like, oh, you're divorced now, sorry, bye, next, until all guys are like that, and there's a stigma attached to being divorced, so women have to try to work through this. Now again, of course, I'm not one of those guys, like if there's a literal abusive relationship, all of that stuff, then of course I'm glad that they can get out of that. But we know that that's not the case when women are filing for 78, 80% of divorces these days. And it's like, well, we fell out of love. And it's like, it's that easy to just, boom, now you're gone, and now you're praised. You're so strong. You're so strong for leaving him and not putting up with that. You guys know the situation. Don't forget, subscribe, like, comment, share the video, but definitely subscribe.